everybody was brought up differently,
Okay.
and me for one, I'm that person who really loved to dance.
Okay.
So it's not even about like me trying to portray something different, but that is me. That is Rosa J. That is how I've been in. I'm humbled because God called me into His vineyard. So I just had to add everything that I was made up of, to make it so exciting. Because gone are those days that when you are called a Christian, people don't even want to, interact with you or talk to you because you will be all toned up, as if you've not taken your bath for days or for months, all because you want to prove to them about how holy Jesus is.
Okay.
But every good and perfect gift comes from God. Even if we can recollect, we know that when Jesus died on the cross, his lane that he was putting on had to be, gambled over.
Yeah.
So it means it was very, very expensive. So if we want to talk about Jesus or want to talk about the kingdom, it should reflect in our day-to-day lifestyle. So I feel that Rosa J is, that kind of lively person, energetic. So I just had to add everything up, Yeah.
And I think it's really working for you.
It is.
Yeah.
Because Rosa J is one person who don't want to be like any other person. I am different. So if you look at the way I do my music, how I perform on stage, or how I minister, everything is different.
I like the dancing aspect because you mentioned you're a dancer.
It's important.
And I see you doing the recent moves, the Ekpe and then the Shaku Shaku, and I'm like, yo, you make the
Christianity.
I mean,
so
it's very
beautiful.
lively and
That's
beautiful.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And sometimes we watch from behind and we're like, oh,
Yeah.
Charlie, we need this kind of grace to also move.
Yes.
God bless you. But did you choose this path, or you were, ushered, or you were forced to take this? Because I know your parents were very good, they were grounded in the Bible or in the Christian dom. Did you choose this path?
I didn't choose it. I was called into it, because I feel that I've said this over and over, that my life was a prophecy. Before my mom gave birth to me, she told me a whole lot of stories.
Wow.
Proving to be that the hand of God was over my life, and it reflected in my day-to-day life. Growing up, going to school from JHS, I used to sing in school, I used to dance. When I went to secondary school, I used to sing, I used to dance. So when most of my friends realized that I was doing music, gospel music, they weren't surprised because they knew it started way back from school. So I know that I was called into it. I wasn't forced by my parents or anybody. Yes.
Had it not been music, what would you have been doing?
I don't think any other thing would have, fitted me more, or nothing more would have made me more fulfilled. Because I love to dance, I love to sing, I love to, model and all that. Even though it's not my thing, but from school,
it shows from your photo shoots.
You see, when
I go on your Instagram like, hey.
When I was growing up, when I was growing up in Liberia, I was doing cultural dance. That was how the dance steps started.
Okay.
I was doing the cultural dance. So when I came to Ghana, those times you'd be watching Embassy Pleasure. I was like, I wish I was the one modeling. And the way I dress and all those things, I normally don't like putting on things that will expose my body.
Okay.
I love to put on long dresses and all that since infancy. So it wasn't something, sometimes people will say, oh, because she's an Asafo Mami, she wants to put. No. That's my lifestyle from childhood. So people told me I have that body that looks like a model or something. So when I went to in my area, I live at Bawi, Malang Bawi. And so they were doing a contest, Miss Bawi.
Okay.
So I participated and I won.
Wow.
And that was 98. Then when I went to secondary school, 99, they wanted me to join the pageant. I did, but I didn't win. So in 2000, I was then informed to, so I was told to stand again, and I won. Miss Adonting. I was in Adonting Secondary School. So when I came out of Adonting Secondary School, they were doing a Miss McCarthy. So they told me, oh, go and join again. When I went 2001, I won. So it's like everybody were like, oh, then go and get involved. you know, in this
main,
Miss Ghana and
yeah.
all those things. But you know, as humans, we have what we really want to do,
Okay.
and God has what He wants us to do.
Okay.
And I believe what God wants us to do is more important. So the call was so strong, you couldn't, you know, I couldn't divert. I just had to listen to the call of God, and I'm glad that I did, because through J's ministries, lives have been transformed. You know, people have known Christ. People, you know, believe in God the more. So I'm so glad.
Let's talk about the calling. How did the call come? Was it through Motorola or was an iPhone, an Android? Yeah. And then you combine a bit of life in, you know, Liberia
Yes.
through to Ghana.
Okay, my mom told me when she had not given birth to me, she told me she was giving birth to male children and she wanted a girl.
Okay.
So that has
So how
been
many siblings?
5.
Okay.
So I included 6.
Wow.
Yes. So
All male 5.
No.
Okay.
My backbone is a girl.
Okay.
So she told me from the beginning, her first child was a male. He died after some days.
Okay.
Then she gave birth to a set of twins. They were guys, and they also passed. So she gave birth to our brother, who is now the eldest.
Okay.
So he's now the firstborn. He lived. Then the second, which should have been the 4th, also lived. Then the 3rd boy, who also should have been the 5th, also lived. So it was like,
Okay.
she was like praying to God for a child, a female. So she was pregnant then, and she was going to town, and she met this woman, you know, a prophetess,
Okay.
who told her that God said, I should tell you that the prayer you've been praying, He has heard, and He wants me to tell you that the child you are carrying is a girl.
Wow.
And He, the Lord, has His hand on that child, and she's going to do the work of God. And that was what she was told. So she said the day when she was in labor, she was packing her things, getting ready to go to the hospital. Then this prophetess came to the house. So she asked what the problem was, and she said, oh, she's in labor, so she's going to the hospital. And the woman told her, no, I'm going to help you deliver this baby
At home.
So the prophetess delivered my mom at home.
Wow.
And she named me Rose. It wasn't my mom who named me, it was the prophetess who named me. Her name was Prophetess Rose, and she gave me that name. So when I was growing up, everybody were calling me Prophetess Rose when I was small. And because my dad also wanted a girl, he was an organist then. My father has passed 3 years ago. He was an organist, so you know, anytime he goes to rehearsals, he takes me along with him. Everywhere my father goes, he leaves my mom at home and takes me along. So I'm sure that is where, you know, that gift started to grow and all that. So from growing up from school, I loved music. Anything music I love, whether it's a reggae music, cool music, and everything about music I love. So when we finally came to Ghana in '96, I was still, you know, singing. So when I got to church here in Ghana, the first thing I thought about was going to join the choir. And that's exactly what I did. And as for me being a chorister, it was unique
for you.
because I sing and dance at the same time. So the moment my name is mentioned in church, everybody is excited, because definitely you are going to enjoy your service. I'm not going to only minister powerfully, I'm going to dance and make you feel at home. So from there I went to secondary school and all that. But it got to a time when I'm singing in church and people are passing, going to church maybe on Sundays. They stand at our entrance, listen to me when I get through singing before they go to church. So I knew that no, there was something special about my voice. People came to church, a lot of men of God, they were prophesying about my voice. You are going to do this, you are going to come out with an album, you're going to, I was like, so how is this
going to work?
How is it going to begin? You know, sometimes they say all these things, but you ask yourself, how do you start? So one day I was at church and this young man walked up to me and told me, Sophie Mami, do you know you have a really wonderful voice? I said, yes, I know I do. Would you want to come out with an album? I said, yes, but I don't know how, because I had spoken to my dad and he told me he wants me to go to school. When I'm done with school and I'm working, I can use my money to promote or to produce myself. So he doesn't want me to go through any hassle or any issue. And I said, yes. Then he said, okay.
By then you were still in school?
No, I had completed. And he told me he doesn't know how to produce, like he cannot be a producer, so he's going to give me money to go to the studio, and when I'm done with my song and I get a producer, I should pay him back. That was how I entered the studio in 2006.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And Eja Washems was the first, I mean, a major project.
Yes.
Wow, interesting.
That was the first song I released in 2013 after recording the song in 2006. I had to wait 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 finally. And that one, it wasn't even like a producer who handled the song, because I had a lot of problem giving songs to people. They would be like, this song is a trash. Feedback. We don't want to waste our money. What type of style is this and all this? So I was talking to my dad. He said, my daughter, I told you to go to school. I don't have any money to give you. So a friend of mine called me one day. He said, you are very gifted. I don't know why this song is not coming out. I think we need to take about 3 months to pray and wait on God. And I said, do you think it's going to work? He said yes. So he was also waiting for a major, a breakthrough in his life also. So when he spoke to me, I said, okay, I'm also going to take 100 days of my life and pray.
Wow.
So I was praying and fasting for that 100 days. Every dawn I wake up, cry on God, cry with my CD in front of me, crying. That it was just I think by then it was just a demo. So crying and praying, I call my dad. My dad is one person, the moment you talk about something and he has no interest in it, you either fight with you, he will not talk to you. So I wasn't even trying to call him. So like during the prayers, I call him once in a while. Hey, why are you calling me? He said, oh no, I'm just calling to say hi. He said, okay, I'm fine. So where are you? Oh, I'm going to work. Hey, I'm busy, we'll talk later. I said, no problem, later. I was praying and praying. So one day I called him after we spoke. Then he asked me, but he said he wanted to come out with an album. How far? And I said, but you told me you don't have money, so I'm also relaxing. Then he said, then talk to your elder brother. I said, no, I'm not sure he's ready to spend this, huge amount of money on this project. He said, okay, if you don't want to talk to him, I'm going to work, we'll talk later. And he left me. I said, okay. So I was still praying. So one day I was there when my dad came back from Liberia, because he was working there and we were in Ghana. So he came to Liberia. I called my younger sister. I said, I heard your dad is coming to your dad is coming to Ghana. How far? Then he took the phone from my sister. But you said you wanted money to do your music, and I've come with the money. You are sitting in the house.
Miracle.
And I hurriedly rushed to my dad. And amazingly, he was just there with my younger brother. So he asked, what do you want? I said, oh, I need this amount of money to go and print the CDs, to take pictures, to do this. He counted the money in dollars and handed it over to me. I wanted to shoot my video. So how much would you need? That time, I think it was 3,000 CDs or so. He gave me the money in dollars. He put it down. He said, I'm writing all this thing, you pay me back. I said, no problem. You just give it to me. So what else? I said, I need to print CDs. I need to distribute it to this radio stations, TV stations. We calculated everything. He gave me everything in dollars. Within about 4 days, my album was ready. The CDs were ready. My video was shot. 2 days. It was Steve Jenfi that shot the video. The 2 days, Travi edited and that was how it started.
That's a miracle.
It's a great miracle. And before my father died, he was fighting me for that money. Hey, I gave my money to you instead of you to use the money to go and buy a land. Look at what you are using the music.
But he said
then I knew that God had a hand. Yes, God had a hand
it wasn't
in this
intention.
And sometimes he sits in his room quietly, watch the video. When he sees me coming in, then he acts as if he's not watching. And I knew he was very, very proud of me, because at the end of the day, I was bothering him that I wanted to come out with an album, and luckily the song is out, blessing lives. It's all Nyamiye, and the song we are Nyamiye. It was all over Ghana. It's just that people didn't know that the song was from Rosie J, but that song was a big hit till now. Is all over.